This is Pam Smith with Farm Journal Magazine. I'm with Roger Kemble from Syngenta Biotechnology. And we were talking about genes and stacking lots of genes into the new traits or new corn hybrids that farmers are seeing. Can you talk about that a little bit, and why is that difficult, and as we go into this new generation of corn hybrids?
I think what the industry as a whole is finding out now is that the way we've been crossing new genes into corn, we need to be a little more subtle about it. Clearly there is some corn germplasm that just can't really cope with the large load of foreign genes that you're putting into it, whereas some other corn germplasms can. So as an industry now, rather than just focusing on the traits that we're putting in, we're having to step back and look at the germplasm that we're putting these traits into. And we can do that and select the good germplasm from the bad by high throughput genomics and understanding bioinformatics. So we're having to learn a little more about what's going on and just than we have in the past.
You guys have a new trait coming in, Viptera. So, and you had mentioned to me that it does it have as many things stacked into it, or can you explain that a bit?
No, with Viptera, it's an insect control gene, a completely new insect control gene for corn lepidopteran pests, above ground control. It has a different mode of action than the Bt crystalline proteins. So by combining the two together, you decrease the opportunity of an insect population being resistant to any one of the two of the proteins individually. And of course that if you have them both of them together, it will allow farmers to enjoy the technology for a longer period of time, because you don't run the risk of this resistance building up in the insect population. And it also allows the farmers to reduce refuge requirements.
Okay. So is it easier to integrate into the germplasm then, or is there anything special about it in that regard?
Nothing special about the gene itself. We will, with time, of course, be adding other genes to it: herbicide resistance, water optimization genes, corn rootworm control genes, depending on the product that the customer wants. We have to get more subtle in ways of putting these genes into plants, though. So whereas in the past we've generally just crossed in existing events for the different traits, that's where we're starting to see some germplasms that may not be that comfortable in sort of taking those traits and not showing any deleterious effects. So we need to step back and develop new technology that will allow us to put the 10 or 12 or 15 genes that we want to get into the plant in one go. And at Syngenta we're developing a couple of those technologies.
So will we just continue to build on to these hybrids? I mean, is that the trend of the future? How high can we go with how many traits we can put in?
I think we can go really high. We've just got to find better ways of doing it than the ways we've used so far. And as I say, we're developing technologies to do that. And also this understanding of the germplasm that can cope with the added genes you're putting in, and the different germplasms that you won't. So I think once we've identified the good germplasm, then we will just continue to breed from that germplasm, and that's where the new products will come from.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.